What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. We've been following this unique pattern here in the Schumann resonance now for the last several days. You're looking at 6 days in a row here. I shared this with you guys yesterday. I found another location where this same type of pattern at the same time is showing up somewhere else too. We're going to come back and take a look at that location here in just a moment. But first, over here at the GO 16, looking at the northern hemisphere, and you can see a massive hurricane forming over here in the eastern Pacific. The sea surface temperature over here is around 90 degrees, so conditions are ideal for the formation of hurricanes because there's not a lot of Sahara sand over here. There's no wind shear right now at the time, so this thing here is very large and in charge. That's over 700 miles wide aesthetically from top to bottom. The eye wall hasn't formed yet, but the center of rotation right here is at least 100 miles wide, if not larger. That thing's moving a lot of heat. You can tell it's got a lot of moisture in it, and it's starting to really develop. It's coming on fast. It's rapidly intensifying. It's supposed to be a Category 3 storm in 36 hours and remain at least a Category 3 for the better part of a day and a half. So this thing could turn into a Category 4 storm because conditions over here, unlike over in the Atlantic, are quite favorable for the formation of hurricanes. The green lines you see right here represent no wind shear, and hurricanes like an environment with no wind shear and no sand, unlike we have over here in the main development region. That's what this area is called here between the Western Sahara and the Caribbean Sea over here. This is the MDR, the main development region, because this time of year, this is where hurricanes generally form, right out in here, but they can't because of the Sahara sand situation. It just is not a conducive environment for hurricanes. Normally, they're lined up over here like airplanes getting ready to come in for a landing, and what they're doing, they're moving heat because the water over here is very warm like it is over here in the eastern Pacific. So what they're trying to do is move heat away from the equator, and they're not able to because of the environment. It's just too dusty right now. So the energy is finding a way to move heat over here in the eastern Pacific. We've got a large one brewing right now as I do this video. The name of this one is Estelle. It will be around for a few days, and it's not supposed to make landfall anywhere. By the time it gets anywhere near Hawaii, it will be down to a tropical storm. So another large storm system forming over here in the eastern Pacific, as the energy cannot form over here and develop into hurricanes in the Atlantic due to the overwhelming dust plumes that we've been seeing now nonstop for several months in a row. Wanted to share a unique photo with you guys. It's over here at the homepage of the website that was sent in by Rick B. And you can see I featured the photo today, and this is a land spout, he said, that he noticed. I'm waiting to hear back from his location, but at the top of the land spout you can see what looks like a perfect circle, almost looks like a white donut in the sky. And look behind it up here, it almost looks like it's doing something back here. It's definitely some sort of a land spout, but I don't think I've ever seen one that had a top like that. If you guys have, leave a comment down below in the comment section, but I found that quite unique. I've never seen a land spout with a white donut on the top of it. Looking at the Schumann resonance today, you can see there's been a couple of major spikes in the last 24 hours, and there's currently one kind of winding down right now that's been going on for the better part of 12 hours, and it's also in that time zone between 14 and 20 universal time. Every day you can see this pattern here in the Schumann resonance of some sort of unknown energy that's being detected in the Schumann, and I found that same energy over here of all places at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. I noticed the magma intrusion on a lot of these seismographs, not all of them, but you'll notice the time frame over here is consistent with the time frames in the Schumann resonance. Pretty much the same exact time frames between 14 and 15 universal time, lasting all the way up to 19 and 20 universal time. Now the seismograph here, you can see the energy started at 14 and lasted up to just over 17. Here's another seismograph, same wave of energy. Another seismograph, same wave of energy. So I wonder if they're related. You can see there was some activity here at Little West Thumb and Horace Butte. You can see some small earthquakes lake activity around the supervolcano caldera. And one side note, the Hebgen Lake seismograph is absent. Haven't seen it now for days. And that's the location of the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that occurred back in 1959 at Hebgen Lake. And the seismograph, for whatever reasons, the Hebgen Lake seismograph has disappeared. But I did notice a pattern. There were similarities, at least with the time frame and some sort of energy presence in the Schumann and at the supervolcano caldera at the same exact time. Looking at the Sahara sand situation, you can see it's spanning thousands of miles once again today, and will be like that for quite some time. Looking at the global seismographs, I did not see that energy over here on the global seismographs. It was just at the Yellowstone seismographs, and then of course up in the Schumann resonance we noticed the energy waves. But the global seismographs did not reflect that same type of energy pattern like we saw in the Schumann and over at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, you can see the active regions and sunspots are persisting. In fact, they're gaining momentum. There's more today than there were yesterday, so look for an increase in solar activity in the coming days. I think the latest solar flare was an M1 class solar flare. These sunspots are definitely geared up for at least M flares, possibly an X flare in the coming days. We'll have to wait and see how they trend. Looking at the hurricane situation, you can see right now the only action in town's over here in the Pacific Ocean. Out here in the eastern Pacific, the conditions are favorable for hurricanes, but nowhere else, as there's just way too much sand out here in the main development region of the Atlantic Ocean. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. First photos are by Tim out of Berkeley, California, who couldn't help but notice what looked like roll clouds or gravity waves up in the sky. And then this one here looked like a dog's hind leg. Crooked line up in the sky. Gavin out of South Africa, beautiful orange sunrise or sunset reflecting off the lake. Sam W. out of Texas, notice the golden louvers up in the sky above Texas. Christy out of northern Idaho, golden rainbow up in the sky above Idaho. And here's a close-up of that intense double-decker rainbow embedded in the bright orange clouds. That's unedited. Here's another photo by Christy out of northern Idaho as storms were moving through the area. Tim S. out of Sebastopol, California, bright pink sky. That too is unedited. Stepheny out of Springfield, Nebraska. These are unedited photos. The sky exactly the way they looked above Nebraska, almost reddish looking right there. Could be influenced by the Sahara sand. This one definitely is. Photo by Ralph out of Naples, Florida. That is definitely a side effect of the Sahara sand in the Naples, Florida area. Great job, guys. Keep the photos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports@MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.